So I've shared my screen. I hope you guys are able to see.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So we were doing 7.10, right? The 10th exercise we were doing. In that, we completed till problem number 8. Now let's look at the 9th one. So the 9th one is the value of integral 1 by 3 to 1 x minus x cube the whole power 1 by 3 the whole divided by x power 4 dx. So how to proceed? So how do we do this? Anybody with an idea? Anyone?
Do we have to take some trigonometric function?
You can give me any idea. Whatever comes to your mind, just let's try that.
Sir, put x is equal to sine theta.
But here, if you try putting x is equal to sine theta, what will happen? You have x cube. You will have sine cube theta, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, let's try and see. So what x minus x cube is there? We can write it as x into 1 minus x square. So you want to put x is equal to sine theta. So which implies dx will be equal to
Cos theta d theta.
Cos theta d theta. Let's not worry about the limits as of now. Integral of what can we write this as? If I put x is equal to sine theta, then it will be sine theta into cos square theta. Can I say this?
Yes,
So
sir.
it will be sine theta into cos square theta, the whole power 1 by 3, the whole divided by sine power what?
Sine power 4 theta.
Sine power 4 theta. Now what can? Sorry, not d theta. Sine power 4 theta into
Cos theta d theta.
cos theta d theta. Now what can we do?
Sir, do we have to regroup or something? Or split sine power 4s?
So you want to split sine power 4 as?
Sine square into sine square.
Okay. So integral of sine theta into cos square theta, the whole power 1 by 3. So
one you can take it as cosecant square theta. One sine square theta in the denominator, you take it as cosecant square theta.
But what made you think that it can be taken as cosecant?
If you manage the powers, you'll get caught.
Where should I manage?
Sir, cos theta, cos theta power, whole power 1 by 3, that will be 2 by 3.
Okay.
And then
So it will be integral of sine power 1 by 3. Let's split and write it. Cos power 2 by 3 theta into cos theta, the whole divided by sine square theta into sine square theta. This whole thing with respect to d theta. Now what can we do?
Yeah, cos theta power 5 by 3 varum.
Okay. 1 minute. Which numbers? So you want to write it as sine power 1 by 3 theta into cos power 5 by 3 theta, the whole divided by sine square theta into sine square theta. Now what can we think of? So can we do something with sine power 1 by 3 theta and sine square theta?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What can we do?
will that be, sir, will that become sine power 5 by 3, because then it will become cot power 5 by sine denominator varuma.
So sine power 1 by 3. It
Oh
should
yes sir,
be,
yes sir, yes sir. 1 by 3 minus
it will be sine
2
power 5 into
minus
sine
5
power.
by 3 இருக்கும். So that will be sine power 5 by 3 in the denominator.
Wait.
Sir,
So
sine, yeah,
cos
sine
power 5 by 3 theta into, okay, you can take this
1 sine
2
square,
minus, so it will be 5 by 3. Yes. So
and then that will become cosecant theta.
if you take this thing, yes, that's right. So if you take this thing alone, what will happen is integral of cos power 5 by 3 theta, I'm leaving it as it is. So denominator, what will happen is it will be sine square theta into sine power minus 1 by 3 theta. So it will be sine power 5 by 3 theta into, this can be written as cosecant square theta d theta. So this will become integral of cot power 5 by 3 theta into cosecant square theta d theta. Is that all? Then what can we do?
Then cot t.
Then cot theta, if you take it as some other variable, let's say y, that implies minus cosecant square theta d theta will be equal to d1. Okay. Then integral of, in between we have to change the limits. Okay. You have to think about it. So cot power 5 by 3 theta ends y power 5 by 3 into minus dy. Okay. Now our work is to change the limits. When x is equal to sine theta, dx is equal to cos theta d theta. When you put x is equal to 1 by 3, then what will be the value of theta? Sine inverse of 1 by 3. Similarly, when you put x is equal to 1, theta is equal to how much?
5 by 2.
5 by 2.
That's right. So what will be the limits? It will be sine inverse of 1 by 3 to pi by 2. You have to write it for every step till here. Sine inverse of 1 by 3 to pi by 2. Now what will happen? When cot theta is equal to y, when theta is equal to sine inverse, so what we can do is, let's not convert it. Let's again bring it back to cot theta itself, because that will be easy. Y power, what will you get? Y power 5 by 3 plus 1 divided by
8 by 3.
5 by 3 plus 1. So how much is it? 8 by 3. Yeah? So it will be 3 by minus 3 by 8 into y power 3 by 8. This is also equal to minus 3 by 8 into, in the place of y, what can I write? Cot theta, the whole power 3 by 8. Okay. So cot theta, the whole power 3 by 8. Now you can substitute the limits from where to where? Sine inverse of 1 by 3 to pi by 2.
So tell me what 8 by 3.
Oh, sorry, 8 by 3. So now you are going to substitute this. This will be minus 3 by 8 into cot pi by 2 will be 0, 0 power 8 by 3 plus 3 by 8 into cot of sine inverse of 1 by 3, the whole power 8 by 3. So what is sine inverse 1 by 3 in terms of cot? So sine inverse 1 by 3 means this is theta, this is 1, this is 3. Then how much will this be? Root of 2 root 2, right? It will be 2 root 2. Then what is sine? It will be cot inverse of how much? 2 root 2. Right? So it will be 3 by 8 into cot of cot inverse of 2 root 2, the whole power 8 by 3. So this will be how much, guys? Is there an option like this? So they want us to simplify this, right? So do one thing, copy it till this step.
Can you show from the first?
From where? This part?
From the first.
Okay, make a note.
Sir, 2 root 2 root 8 nu edutama.
Yes, 2 root 2 you can write it. See, because there is an 8 power something. So what is it? 2 root 2 power 8 by 3. Yeah? So root 2 you can write it as root 8 power 8 by 3. Root 8 is 8 power half, so it will be 8 power 4 by 3. But 8 can be written as 8 can be written 2 cube the whole power 1 by 3 the whole power 4. So 2 power 4 16. 16 into 3 by 8 is 6. Is there an option like 6? Yeah, that will be the answer. If there is anyone who is not clear with any of the stuff, please let me know. Shall I move to the next page?
Yes.
Sir, 1 minute, sir.
Or else remind me. No, I'll do one thing. I'll send the sheet immediately after the class. Okay. So remind me so that you can copy, because there's a big problem, right? In spite of it, you have a doubt, you can ask me in the next class. So f of x is equal to integral of 0 to x t sin t dt. What is f dash of x? So first integrated, find the value of f of x and then differentiate, you will get the answer. So how to find f of x? F of x is equal to, when you do by parts, algebraic and trigonometric, first and second. So first function into integral of second function minus integral of derivative of first function into integral of second function with respect to t. So minus t cos t minus integral of derivative of t with respect to t is 1. Integral of sin t is minus cos t, and this will become dt. If you bring the minus sign outside, minus t cos t plus integral of cos t dt, what will it be? Minus t cos t plus sin t between 0 to x. So when you integrate it, when you substitute the limit, minus x cos x plus sin x minus 0. Okay. So this is the value of f of x. So what will be the value of f dash of x? Minus x into derivative of cos x is minus sin x. Plus cos x into derivative of x is 1. Plus cos x. So cos x and cos x will get cancelled. Answer will be x sin x. I hope you guys are clear with this. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So it's normal
Yes, sir.
integration, and then you have to differentiate it. That's it. Okay. With this exercise is over. So we'll go to the next exercise, which is a very, very important one. Okay. So I'm moving on to the next exercise. This exercise name is called as properties of definite integrals. So here the P stands for property. So this is called as properties of definite integrals. Means when you solve a problem based on definite integrals, what are all the properties that you can apply so that your solution becomes simpler? Okay. So in these properties also, there are some properties which you almost apply in all the problems. So I'll tell you which is very important and which is applied to a limited extent and everything, but you have to know every formula. Okay. So observe. First thing is integral of a to b f of x dx is the same as integral of a to b f of t dt. The meaning of it is whether you're integrating f of x with respect to x or f of t with respect to t, or you're integrating f of theta with respect to theta or something, if the limits are the same and the function is the same, function in the sense, for example, 0 to pi by 2, if I do integral of sine x dx, I'll get an answer. Similarly, if I do integral of 0 to pi by 2 sine t dt, I'll get the same answer. If I do integral of 0 to pi by 2 sine theta d theta, I'll get the same answer. So that is the very first property. It is called as property number 0 because the basic definition of definite integral sense. Are you guys clear with this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So moving on to the next one. So the next property is like this. Integral of a to b f of x dx is equal to integral of b to a f of x dx with a negative sign. So what has happened? So when I take LHS, one thing to be observed is we are integrating the same function. But when I take the LHS, what is the left limit or the lower limit? It is A. What is the upper limit? It is B. Similarly, if I take RHS, what is the lower limit? B, and the upper limit is A. Means when you're integrating a function, if you interchange the limits, what will happen to it? If you interchange the limits, what will happen? There will be
Sign change.
There will be a sign change with a minus. And the reason is very simple. If suppose when I do integral of f of x dx, if suppose I'm getting a function which is capital F of x. Okay. So to be more clear, suppose I'm integrating integral of sin x dx, it will be minus cos x. Are you able to understand? So minus cos x, generally it is plus c when it is indefinite integral. Okay, here sin x is small f of x, cos x is capital F of x. So if I put a limit a to b, then what will happen is it will be from a to b. Now, where will you apply the limits? You will apply it wherever x is there. So f of b minus f of a, this is according to LHS. I hope it is clear. So let this be equation number 1. Similarly, when I do integral of b to a f of x dx, so integral of f of x is small f of x is capital F of x, but here what are you doing? You're applying the limits from b to a. Then what will happen? Capital F of a minus capital F of b. This will be equation number 2. So what is the relation between 1 and 2? Capital F of b minus capital F of a is the negative of capital F of a minus capital F of b. Means the first equation is the negative of the second equation. So what will happen to the left hand sides? There will be a negative sign that is coming in picture. Are you guys clear with the proof?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So this is what happens. See, these proofs will not be asked, but you have to have an understanding of what it is. Okay. So I suggest you guys to write it along with me. I'm moving on to the next part. So the next property says integral of a to b f of x dx is equal to, so when I do integration of a particular function between two limits, what does it give me? What will it give it? What will it give
Area.
us? It will give us the area made by the curve f of x with the independent axis. Or I can say it will be giving the area made by the function with the independent axis. If suppose I take this limit like this. A to B. So this is f of x. Then the shaded portions area is given by integral of A to B f of x dx. Okay. Can I split this and write? Observe what I'm going to do. I'm taking an intermediate point C. The point C need not be midpoint, but it is somewhere between A and B, such that, can I say this area is equal to integral of A to C f of x dx plus integral of C to B f of x dx? Because integral of A to B f of x dx will give me this area. Integral of C to B f of x dx will give me this area. So area number 1 plus area number 2 put together is going to be the total area. So can we do this? So whenever you want to split the limit and write, what you can do is you can split it by taking an intermediate variable and then proceed.
Sir, C lies between A and B. Sir.
C should be between A and B. Is it clear? So moving on to the next one. This property is a very, very important one. You will use it in almost all the problems. Okay. So integral of A to B f of x dx is equal to integral of A to B f of A plus B minus x dx. Okay. So I'm showing you the proof. For the proof, I'm considering RHS. So what is the RHS telling me? Integral of A to B f of A plus B minus x dx. This is the value. So I'm doing a substitution method. A plus B minus x, I'm taking it as t, which implies minus dx is equal to dt. Okay. So minus dx is equal to dt. Now tell me the lower limit and upper limit. Lower limit, upper limit. X and t. When the lower limit is a, upper limit is
minus a.
is b. You'll take a and substitute it here, no?
Sorry, sir.
Sorry. It will be b. When the lower limit is, when the upper limit is b, the corresponding upper limit for t will be a. So what will happen is integral of a to b f of x dx. How can we write? You can write it as b to a f of t. In the place of dt, so in the place of dx, I can write as minus dt. I was clear till this point. Did you understand what I did? Just normal
Sir, can
substitution
you
and we.
explain the last one, sir?
Which one? This one. Huh?
Yeah.
In the place of a plus b minus x, I'm substituting t. In the place
Yeah,
of
okay,
dx, I'm substituting minus dt. And the limits have changed. So the limits of t are from b to a. That's why I wrote it as b to a. So that will be minus integral of f of t dt from b to a. But what property can we apply? There is a second property is telling if you interchange the limit, what will happen? The minus sign is gone. Integral of a to b f of t dt. But what is our question is? Question in terms of, it is in terms of x. So this will be the same as integral of a to b f of x dx, which is nothing but the LHS. Are you clear with this? So I'm repeating it again. Nobody will ask you the proof, but it is better you understand because you will understand how to use the properties among themselves. So if there is any doubt, please ask. Just a minute. I'm adding few pages. Okay. Now see. Now, as I told you, this property is very important. I'll tell you how to apply this. Okay. So let's consider an example problem. So if I give you a question like this, integral of pi by 6 to pi by 3 sin x dx. Okay, I'm repeating it again. Integral of pi by 6 to pi by 3 sin x dx. So I'm solving this problem without applying the property. I'm not saying you have to solve only with property. You can solve it without also. So without property means what will be the answer? Minus cos x between pi by 6 to pi by 3. So it will be minus cos pi by 3 plus cos pi by 6. So what is cos pi by 3? Half okay, just a minute. Here you can't use property. Okay, I'll use it in short. Yeah. So did you guys understand it is root 3 minus 1 by 2? The answer is root 3 minus 1 divided by 2. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to solve the same problem with property. So with property, what is going to happen is integral of, so you will take it like this. The question as I. So I will be integral of pi by 6 to pi by 3 sin x dx. So what is the property telling us? Integral of a to b f of x dx is equal to integral of the same limits but f of a plus b minus x dx. The meaning of it is you're adding the lower limit and upper limit and subtracting x from it and integrating. So what should we write here? It will be sine of pi by 6 plus pi by 3 minus x dx from where to where? From the same limits pi by 6 to pi by 3. Is this clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So it will be integral of pi by 6 to pi by 3. Sine of pi by 6 plus pi by 3 is pi by 2. Sine pi by 2 minus x is cos. Okay. Now let's try to integrate this normally and see. Integral of cos x is sin x between pi by 6 to pi by 3. So what will you get? You will get sin pi by 3 minus sin pi by 6. Sin pi by 3 is root 3 by 2 minus 1 by 2. You will get the same answer. Where is it? Root 3 minus 1 by 2. But this is not the appropriate problem where we are going to use it. Okay. That I'll explain while solving the exercise. But I hope you guys understood how to use the property. Yes or no? Are you clear
Yes,
on how
sir.
to apply this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Make a note of it. This property alone, make a note. This is very important.
Okay. Can you show the proof again?
Proof of this one. Right.
Yes, sir.
This is all about the third property, property number 3. Actually, according to number, it is a fourth property, but according to this, we can call it as P3. Similarly, let's look at P4. So P4 states like this: integral of 0 to a f of x dx is equal to the same limit integral of 0 to a f of a minus x dx. The proof is very simple. So in the previous property, if I put a is equal to 0 and b is equal to a, so what was the previous property? Integral of a to b f of x dx is equal to integral of a to b f of a plus b minus x dx. In the place of a, if I put a 0, in the place of B, if I put an A, then you will get this. So that is why this property is an extended property or a particular case of the previous property. It is a special case, right? A special case where A is 0 and B is equal to A. Is it clear? So I will show you an example of how to use this. If I put integral, if I give you a question, integral of 0 to pi by 2 sine square x dx. Okay. So tell me, how will you solve without property? I think we solved it in the previous exercise also. So you'll write it as 1 minus cos 2x divided by 2 dx, right? So this will be integral of 0 to pi by 2. It will be dx divided by 2 minus integral of 0 to pi by 2 cos 2x dx divided by 2. I hope it is clear till here. So what will be the answer? 1 by 2 into integral of dx between 0 to pi by 2. Correct? Minus half into integral of cos 2x is how much?
Sin 2x by 2.
By 2 between 0 to pi by 2. So you will get pi by 4 minus 1 by 4 into sine 2 into pi by 2 minus sine 0. Accepted? I substituted the upper limit and the lower limit. Sine 2 into pi by 2, this and this will get cancelled. Sine pi is 0. Sine 0 is 0. So what is the answer you are left out with?
Pi by 4.
So this is the answer, pi by 4. Right. See what I'm going to do is, if you want to solve the same problem with property, okay, so it will be integral of 0 to pi by 2 sine square x dx. That is the question. So when you're using the property, take the question as I. So what is the property telling you? Integral of 0 to a f of x dx is equal to integral of the same limit 0 to a f of a minus x dx. Correct? So what will happen is it will be integral of 0 to pi by 2 sine square of, what is the value of a, guys?
Pi by 2.
So can I write it as pi by 2 minus x dx? So it will be integral of 0 to pi by 2. Sine square pi by 2 minus x is nothing but cos square x dx. Correct? So if I take this as 1, this as 2, what is the relation between sine square x and cos square x? If you add them, it will be 1. So first equation plus second equation will give you 2i is equal to integral of 0 to pi by 2 sine square x dx plus what?
Cos square x dx.
Yes. Sine square x plus cos square x dx. I can write it like this. So what is that you will have? So integral of 0 to pi by 2, you will have dx in your hand. So what will be the answer? When you integrate it, you will get pi by 2. This pi by 2 is nothing but 2 times I. But what is the value of I? So I'm getting the same answer. So there also it was pi by 4. Here also it is pi by 4. So if you follow the properties, you can actually skip many steps. You will get the answer in lesser number of steps. See, it is because I explained you for the first time, you might see that the steps are more. But as you practice, it will become easy. So this property also, make a note. Done?
Sir.
So next one is integral of 0 to 2a f of x dx can be written as integral of 0 to a f of x dx plus integral of 0 to a f of 2a minus x dx. Okay. So this is also an important property. You applied for few problems, but you have to know this. Okay. So I'll show you the proof for this. So integral of 0 to 2a f of x dx is equal to integral of 0 to a f of x dx means you make the upper limit half of its value plus integral of 0 to a f of 2a minus x dx. Okay. So how to find this? Observe. So if I take the right hand side, integral of 0 to a f of 2a minus x dx. Okay. So if I put 2a minus x is equal to t, then I'll get minus dx is equal to dt. So when I put x is equal to 0, t is equal to 2a. When I put x is equal to a, t will be equal to a. Are you guys clear with this point? Did you understand what I did?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So to the RHS, what I'm going to do is, 1 minute. So to the RHS, what I will do is integral of 0 to a f of x dx plus integral of the place of 0 in the place of x, can I write it as 2a? So in the place of x is equal to a, I can write it as a itself. F of the place of 2a minus x, what can I write? T. In the place of dx, I can write it as minus dt. Do you guys understand what I did? So when you use the substitution method, the lower and the upper limit have got changed. There is a lower limit and there is the upper limit. That's what I did. Okay. So integral of a to 0 to a, integral of 0 to a f of x dx plus 2a to a, I want to change this t to dt. I mean x. Can I write it as f of x and minus dx? Right. So which property did I apply?
First property.
The very first property, that is the p0, right? When I applied this, I get this. So integral of 0 to a f of x dx. If I take the minus out, okay, if I take the minus out, it will be 2a to a f of x dx. I'm writing an additional step. If I change the lower and the upper limit, what will happen to this minus?
Plus.
It will become plus. So that is the second property. Integral of 0 to a f of x dx plus it will become integral of a to 2a f of x dx. I hope you understood. Right? Now, integral of 0 to a plus integral of a to 2a can be written as integral of 0 to 2a f of x dx. Here, what property did I apply?
Third property.
The third property. What is that? Integral of a to c plus c to d. So this is the proof. So there is the LHS, right? So there is the reason why integral of 0 to 2a f of x dx can be written as integral of 0 to a f of x dx plus integral of 0 to a f of 2a minus x dx. There is any doubt, let me know.
Sir, how did
Yeah, go ahead.
f of t become f of x, sir?
That is the first property.
Oh, okay, okay.
So there is a 1 minute. I'll explain it if you want. See, integral of a to b f of x dx is equal to integral of a to b f of t dt. No? The property number 0, p0. That is the one I applied. Okay.
Okay.
I hope you're done. So I hope you're done.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So the example problem that we can think of. See, if suppose you have a question like integral of 0 to 2 pi sin x dx, then how can you write it? You can write it as integral of 0 to pi what? Sin x dx plus integral of 0 to pi sin of f of 2a minus x dash. So sin of how much should I write in the bracket?
Pi minus.
Pi minus.
The upper limit on the left hand side, that is 2 pi minus x dx. Is it clear? Okay, I'll do one thing. First, I will solve this without property, okay? So without property, if I solve, what will I get? I'll get it as minus cos x between 0 to 2 pi. So that will be minus cos 2 pi plus cos 0. So what is cos 2 pi?
1.
1. So you will have minus 1 plus 1, that will be 0. Correct? So this there is another reason for this also. I would have already explained it. Observe. So the meaning of this is, if this is the graph of sin x between 0 to 2 pi, if this area is a, this area will be minus a. They both will be having the same magnitude. So what will be the total area between 0 to 2 pi? Answer is 0. That is another way of visualizing the same thing. Okay. And the third way of visualizing it is, so what did I do is without property, I did direct integration and then substituted limit. I observe the graphical process also. And third one is with property, observe how you can solve it. So with property means it is of the form integral 0 to 2a. Correct? It is integral of 0 to 2a f of x dx. So I can write this as what? Integral of 0 to a. What is a?
Pi.
Pi.
F of x dx, sin x dx plus integral of 0 to the same pi. You should not write as 0 to 2a again. That will be f of 2a minus x. What is 2a? 2a is 2 pi. Sin of 2 pi minus x dx. Guys, tell me, is there any doubt? Is there anyone who didn't understand what I did? There is no other choice. I have to explain this, okay? I know you can solve the problem using direct method because I've given a simple question. Sometimes you'll have to apply this property. So please let me know if there is any confusion. Shall I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So then I can write it as 0 to pi sin x dx plus integral of 0 to pi sin 2 pi minus x. Which quadrant is it?
Fourth quadrant.
Fourth quadrant. Sign is positive or negative?
Negative.
Negative.
We'll have minus sin x dx. So 0 to pi sin x dx plus 0 to pi minus sin x dx will give me a 0. Correct? So what I did is I applied which property? Property number 5. With property P5, this is what I got. Are you clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now what I'll do is I'll solve the same thing with property number 4. See what will happen. With property 4, if you observe, So what does the property 4 say? It is integral of 0 to 2 pi sin x dx is equal to integral of 0 to 2 pi, means you will not change the limits. You will write as a single function sine of upper limit minus x dx. Correct? 1 minute. Sorry. So if I call this thing as I, so according to property number 4, it is integral of 0 to 2 pi. What is it? Integral of 0 to a f of x dx will be equal to integral of 0 to a f of a minus x dx. Accepted? So here a is nothing but 2 pi. I'm not looking at it like 2a. If I have to apply the property number 5, I have to look at the upper limit as 2a. And the lower limit compulsory has to be a 0. Okay. But property number 4, P4 tells me that integral of 0 to a can be anything. It can be pi, 2 pi, anything. So you have to look at it like only as an upper limit. It will be sine of upper limit minus x. That is 2 pi minus x dx. Accepted? So this is also I. So what is sine of 2 pi minus x?
Minus sin x.
Minus sin x dx. So this is I. If this is equation number 1 and equation number 2. So whenever you apply the fourth property, you will add the first equation and second equation. When you do it, right, 2i will be equal to integral of 0 to 2 pi sin x dx plus integral of 0 to 2 pi minus sin x dx will be a 0. I will be 0. So whether you follow without property or you observe using the graphical method or you solve it using property 5 or 4, you will get the same answer. Are you guys able to understand? So what I'm trying to say is, when you're solving a miscellaneous problem based on this chapter from definite integrals, the choice of choosing the property or not choosing the property is yours. Okay, I would suggest you to practice more of properties because that will solve your problem in few steps. Without property means, because I've taken simple problem, like sin x is a very simple function. If the function is complicated, then your properties will help you out. Are you guys clear? Shall I proceed?
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Yeah, tell me.
sir, every time while you're solving the problem, is it necessary to write the property at the side?
Yeah, you have to. You have to know, or else how will the examiner understand that you have used this property? Okay. So at least for the exam purpose, write it. I'm not saying with solving the problems in homework, but if you're doing it at the exam, yes, you need to definitely write. Okay. But if it is in your mind, make sure you write it. Shall I move on to the next one? Next. Now see. So it is an extension of the previous property only. So observe. What did the previous property tell us? Integral of 0 to 2a f of x dx will be equal to integral of 0 to a f of x dx plus integral of 0 to a f of 2a minus x dx. Okay. Now observe. Now the case has come. If f of 2a minus x is equal to f of x, then if f of 2a minus x is equal to f of x, then what will happen is, using 2 in 1, what do we get? You get integral of 0 to a f of x dx plus integral of 0 to a. In the place of f of 2a minus x, I will write it as f of x dx. So what will this give me? 2 times integral of 0 to a f of x dx. Are you guys clear with this? So integral of 0 to 2a f of x dx is equal to 2 times integral of 0 to a f of x if f of 2a minus x is equal to f of x. Is it clear? Similarly, what can happen is, if f of 2a minus x is equal to minus f of x. Let me call this as equation number 3. Then using 3 in 1, what do we get? When you use the third equation in 1, then you will get integral of 0 to a f of x dx plus integral of 0 to a minus f of x dx. So what will the answer be? It will be a 0. So that's what happened in the previous problem. So f of 2a minus x means in the previous problem, what happened? Sine of 2 pi minus x was equal to minus sin x. That is why you got the final answer is 0. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
So make a note of this. I hope you have written it. I'm moving on to the next one. So this is the last property where you will apply P7 when you have the limits symmetric. Symmetric in the sense it starts at negative of a value and it goes to the positive of the same value. That is integral of minus a to a f of x dx will be equal to 2 times integral of 0 to a f of x dx if f is an even function. Similarly, it will be 0 if f is an odd function. So let me explain what an even function and odd function are. So when I talk about an even function, if f of minus x is equal to f of x, then it is an even function. Example is, if I give you a function x square, okay, if I give you a function f of x is equal to x square, I'm asking you to find whether it is even or odd. What you need to do is, you find out what is minus x, means wherever x is there in the given function, substitute minus x. So you'll have minus x square, answer will be x square. But x square is what? X square is nothing but f of x. So is this an even or an odd function? So obviously it is going to be an even function. And one more important point to be noted is even functions are symmetric about y-axis. They're symmetric about y-axis. What I'm trying to say is, if I try to draw a graph, okay, if I try to draw a graph like this, x and y, then y is equal to x square or f of x is equal to x square is an upward parabola. If you observe, this area and this area will have the same magnitude. And is the graph not symmetric about y-axis? It will be either completely about positive y-axis or completely about negative y-axis. Is it clear? So these type of functions are called as even functions. Okay. Why am I not getting response? Is this exercise stuff? Do you feel it is stuff?
No, sir.
No, right? Okay. Okay. So we will do we'll see what is an odd function. Then what is an odd function? If f of minus x is equal to minus of f of x. If f of minus x is equal to minus of f of x, then it is going to be odd function. The example is x cube. So if I give you a function f of x is equal to x cube, then for it to be verified as even or odd, I will find what is f of minus x. It is minus x cube minus x the whole cube, that is minus x cube. Right? Then f of minus x is equal to minus of f of x. So x cube will be an odd function. An important point to be noted here is odd functions are symmetric about origin. That is, when you plot a graph like this, observe. X-axis, y-axis. So this is how the graph will be. This f of x is equal to x cube, and this is an odd function. Okay, means the graph will be either confined to the first and the third quadrant or second and the fourth quadrant. Whereas when you draw the graph for an even function, it will be confined to the first and the second quadrant or third and the fourth quadrant. I hope this point is clear, because you need to understand what an even and odd function are for you to understand this property. Make a note of it. Okay. Now listen. So let's see what is a property. Okay. So what is the property telling us? If you have integral of minus a to a f of x dx, that will be equal to 2 times integral of 0 to a f of x dx if f is an even function, and it will be minus a to a f of x dx will be equal to 0 if f is an odd function. So the meaning of this is, if I give you a question like this, integral of minus pi to pi sin x dx. Okay, so if you're solving it without property, what will happen? So you will have minus integral of minus sin x as minus cos x between minus pi to pi. Substitute it. So minus cos pi minus of cos pi. Did you understand what I did? So minus cos of upper limit minus cos of lower limit. So what is minus? Cos pi is how much? 1. Sorry, cos pi is minus 1. Minus of minus is plus. What is cos of minus pi, guys?
Cos pi.
It is cos pi because cos is an even function. Right? Cos of minus x is cos x. So 1 plus cos pi. Cos pi is minus 1. So what will you get? The answer will be C. Is it right? So you wouldn't use the property. Whereas if I use the property, so what is the property telling? When I have a symmetric limit, I will have to first check the function. Is sin x an even function or odd function? How will you know? Sin x, if you take, we know that sin of minus x is minus sin x. So it is an odd function. So if it is an odd function, what will the answer be?
0.
You can directly write it as 0 even without solving. Okay, you need not do even these steps. Similarly, if it is an even function, you will write it as 2 times integral of 0 to a. For example, if the question is integral of minus pi to pi cos x dx, then what will happen? Cos x is an even or odd function?
Even.
So it is even function. So you can write it as 2 times integral of 0 to pi cos x dx. Now you can follow the basic method and so on. Okay, you can either follow indefinite integral or you can follow the property. You have a property, right? If I is equal to integral of 0 to pi cos x dx, then I will be equal to integral of 0 to pi cos of pi minus x dx. So what is cos of pi minus x? It will be minus cos x dx. When you add both, what will you get? You will still get it as 0. 2i is 0, which implies I is equal to 0. You can do normal integration and see you'll still get the same answer. Are you guys clear or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Now, I'm going to show how to apply this in problems. Okay. So the first problem alone, I'll explain it later because it has nothing to do with the properties. So let's not worry about the first problem. Second one, see. Integral of minus pi by 4 to pi by 4 sine square x dx. If you look at the limits, they are symmetric. So what property are we supposed to think of? You need not tell me the number. You can just tell me integral of minus a to a f of x dx is equal to 2 times or 0. So is it an even function or odd function?
Odd function.
Sine square x. So f of x is sine square x, correct? F of minus x will be what?
Sine square.
Sine of minus x the whole square. Sine of minus x is minus sine x. But minus sine x the whole square is still sine square x. See, generally, any function squared or raised to the power of an even number is always even function. Okay, because square of a number will never give you a negative value. So it is an even function. Since sine square x is an even function, what can we do? You can write it as 2 times integral of, from where to where? Guys, you can refer the property. So when it is from minus a to a,
0 to pi by 4.
0 to pi by 4. When it is minus a to a, you write it as 2 times and break the limit as half. 0 to a, 0 to a equal pi by 4 sine square x dx. Clear? Now tell me how we can solve this problem.
1 minus cos 2x by 2.
Here you have no other option. Had the problem been pi by 2, then we could have thought of f of a minus x property. So 2 into integral of 0 to pi by 4. In the place of sine square x, we can write it as 1 minus cos 2x divided by 2 times dx. Here you can't use property. Solve it, you will get the answer. It will be integral of dx by 2 minus integral of 0 to pi by 4 cos 2x by 2 dx. So that will be the answer. So 2 into pi by 4 minus 1 by 2 into integral of cos 2x will be sin 2x divided by 2 between 0 to pi by 4. So it will be pi by 2 minus 1 by 4 into sin 2 into pi by 4 minus 0. So that will be sin pi by 2. So answer will be pi by 2 minus 1 by 8. Or it will be 4 pi minus 1 the whole divided by 8. Right. minus 1 by 2.
Sir, you only multiplied, sir. It's correct only. Sine 91 no.
Oh, I multiplied that 2. So it is 1 minute. Sine 2 into, so 1. I multiplied. What did he do? 1 minute. So pi by 4 minus 1 by 2. What did we get?
5 by 4 minus 1
Pi
by
by
8.
2 minus 5 by 4 minus 1. How will you get different answers?
Sir, there should be 5 by 8, sir.
Where?
In the second last. Sir. So
Oh,
5
there
already
are 2,
there's a
right?
half.
Yeah. 5, there should be 5 by 4. Oh, there is a 2. No, I didn't multiply. Oh, sorry. This is what you people are saying. So 2 into pi by 8 is 5 by 4. I forgot to multiply this 2 with this. So 2 by 2, this and this will get cancelled. It will be 1 by 2. So pi by 4 minus 1 by 2. Okay, pi by 4 minus 1 by 2 is the answer.
Sir, can you share this PDF, sir?
Yeah. So next one, integral of 0 to pi x sin x by 1 plus cos square x. If you do it by normal method, it will be complicated for sure. So when you apply the property, what can we think of? Integral of 0 to pi x sin x divided by 1 plus cos square x dx. If I take this as I, then what property can we think of this? It will be integral of 0 to a. So I'm going to apply integral of 0 to a f of x dx is equal to integral of 0 to a f of a minus x dx. So I will get it as pi minus x into sine of pi minus x, the whole divided by 1 plus cos square of pi minus x dx. This is also I. Did you guys understand what I did?
Yes, sir.
I applied this property. So if I add both, 2I will be equal to integral of 0 to pi. So it will be x sin x plus pi minus x into sin x, the whole divided by 1 plus cos square x dx. I'll tell you why I wrote it directly, because cos pi minus x is minus cos x, because it is second quadrant. But minus cos x square is going to be cos square x only. Okay, it is going to be cos square x, so no change in this. Similarly, x sin x plus pi minus x into sin pi minus x is what? It is sin x, because it is in the second quadrant, right? So I directly wrote it. Then what will get cancelled? So it will be integral of 0 to pi x sin x plus pi sin x minus x sin x, the whole divided by 1 plus cos square x dx. This and this will get cancelled. So this is 2 times I. So 2I will be equal to pi into integral of 0 to pi sin x divided by 1 plus cos square x dx. Now what you can do is you can take cos x is equal to t and then proceed. So this problem, there is no chance you can solve it without property. So the idea is put cos x is equal to t, solve the problem. So whatever answer you get on the right hand side, let's say 2I is equal to a, then I will be equal to a by 2. Don't forget to divide it with 2 on both the sides, because whatever answer you are getting on the right hand is not I, it is rather 2I. So wait, myself will solve it. So what is that? So when you do the substitution, 2i will be equal to pi into integral of 0 to pi. If I put cos x is equal to t, then minus sin x into dx will be equal to dt. So lower limit, upper limit, x and t. So when x is 0, what will be the value of t? It will be 1. When x is pi, the value of t will be minus 1. So what will happen here is integral of 1 to minus 1 minus dt divided by 1 plus t square. So ensure the lower limit is always small. So you can write it as minus 1 by minus 1 to 1. When I interchange the limit, what will happen to the function inside?
Plus sign change.
So it will be dt by 1 plus t square. This is 2i. So 2i will be equal to pi into integral of 1 by 1 plus t
Tan
square
inverse
is,
t.
yes, tan inverse t between minus 1 to 1. So pi into tan inverse 1 is pi by 4, minus of tan inverse of minus 1 is minus pi by 4, it will be plus pi by 4. So what will be the answer? Pi into pi by 2, that will be pi square by 2. So there is nothing but 2i. Then I will be equal to pi square divided by 1 minute. So it will be pi square divided by 4. Done? Now see how to solve this problem. One last problem for today's class. So integral of minus 1 to 1 sine power 5x into cos power 4x dx. So how are the limits? They are symmetric, minus a to a. So what is your work? To verify whether the function inside is what?
Even or odd.
Even or odd. So what is the function? F of x is equal to sine power 5x into cos power 4x, right? What is f of minus x? It will be sine of minus x the whole power 5 into cos of minus x the whole power 4. That will be minus sine power 5x into cos power 4x. What is this?
Odd function.
So what is the answer? For odd function, what is the answer?
0.
0.
That's it. You need not sit and solve. But if you have to do it using the normal method, what are you supposed to do? If the limits were not there, you remember what are we supposed to do?
Sin x equal to t.
You have to take sin x is equal to t or cos x is equal to t, and then you have to proceed. Whatever it is, not getting into the complete logic, but you have to do the substitution method, solve it, will go lengthy. Clear?
Yes, sir.
So this is how you solve using property. So I'll give you some work for today, which you have to do it before next class so that you will understand how to solve the problems. Okay. I'll tell you certain problems which you yourself can try. 34, 35, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 11, 12, 13. So you can try these problems. 13, similarly you can do 17th also. 17th and 15th. So you can try out all these problems before the next class. Okay, write down the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 11, 12, 13, 15, 17 from the exercise, and 34 and 35 from example problems. So try them before the next class. The remaining problems I'll explain. Okay, so we can wind up with this. Just a minute.